a story based on our true lives.
Joshua Barton was a sturdy, farmer bachelor, noticeable for his height, broad shoulders, and an honest and intelligent face. His father and mother died when he was a boy, leaving Joshua a large and fertile farm. His sister Susan had always been his housekeeper. Susan meant well, but like most energetic women possessed a sharp tongue. Joshua had never formed a serious attachment. Some said he was afraid to take a wife into the home where his sister reigned with an iron will.
You used to talk about the prospect of the apple or peach orchard, about the vineyard, or the strawberry farm. What is the matter with you, Joshua?
I'm just a country boy who saw the face of an honest girl, with eyes of sincerity and strawberry curls.
She was a clerk at the department store. She returned my gaze. I forgot what I came there for. White collars, black tie. She's the New York City apple of my eye. She measured my neck, touching my bare skin. It wasn't a sin, she's just under my chin.
I'm just a country boy who saw the face of an honest girl, with eyes of sincerity and strawberry curls. Susan, you're gonna think this is odd, but something whispered to me, this girl's gonna be my wife. Just you wait and see. Yes!
You must wonder why selling the potatoes and strawberries kept me in New York for so long. For a week I did nothing but woo a girl and plan how I could get her to be my wife. I went every day to the department store where she worked, and bought collars and ties. The other sales clerks knew why I was stopping by.
I'm not surprised. My only wonder is that you were not ordered out of the building.
She allowed me to walk her home. It was a poor place. She shared a small room with her friend. I told her of the great open world full of sunshine in the country. I told her of the farm, of the grassy lane that leads down to the woodlands where the wild flowers grow, of orchards where the birds sing, of the meadows bright with daisy blossoms, of the low lands where the buttercups grow. I told her of the village church, the schoolhouse, and the neighbors. Something whispered to me, this girl is going to be my wife.
Joshua, how could you deceive that poor silly thing like that? Why didn't you tell her how hard we have to work? Why didn't you tell her about threshing time, and boarding hired men? Come in. Gracious me. If you knew anything about country folks, you would know that farm people don't live in the parlor. I never hear people when they come to the front door. Farm folks spend their lives in the kitchen. In the kitchen the women folks do their work. In the kitchen the men folks eat and spend their spare time. The front part of the house is for company. It's closed except on rare occasions, such as visits from the parson, marriages and funerals.
Does Joshua Barton live here?
Of course he does. I suppose everybody know that. He has lived here all the days of his life.
I've come all the way from New York City to see him.
Well, bless my soul. Be you the girl that he was telling me about, the girl that he got acquainted with in the big department store in New York City?
Yes, that is me.
Well, do come in and rest yourself. What a frail creature. You look as though a little puff of wind would blow you away. And how pale you be. It can't be that New York City is a healthy place. And so you are the girl that my Joshua wants to marry?
Yes.
And you don't know nothing of farm life?
Joshua told me many pleasant things, of the shady lane that leads to the woods where the flowers blossom, the low lands where the buttercups are plenty, of the songbirds in the orchard and strawberry fields, and of the sunshine and bins full of grains. That is about all I know of the country.
Well, it may be for the best that I tell you about the kind of life that farmers' wives and sisters lead. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, start the kitchen fire, skim the pans of milk, churn the cream into butter and get breakfast ready for Joshua and a lot of hungry hired men. After breakfast I take a few mouthfuls to eat, not eating with the others, as I have to wait on them, which takes all my time. Then I clear off the table, wash the dishes, slick up the house a bit, and set about getting dinner, which is the big meal of the day on the farm. Dinner must come off promptly at 12, for the men want a little resting spell after eating, before the bell rings for work again at 1 o'clock, I stand over the hot stove baking and cooking, hurrying with all my might, and am ready to go out and ring the bell for dinner at 11:45. While the men have dinner, I wait on them as at breakfast. After dinner, I eat a few mouthfuls, clear off the table, set away things, and try to get an hour to work in the garden, for Joshua and the men are too busy to pay much attention to the kitchen garden. I have to cut short my garden work, which I like, to come in and get ready for supper. After supper, I find plenty to do until 8 or 9 o'clock when I go to bed.
Is this the way all farmer folks live and work?
Farmers must save money. There is no man on the farm who works as many hours as the woman in the farmer's kitchen. The men in the field have the cool breeze to fan them, their work varies from day to day, they have a good appetite for their meals 3 times a day, they take pride in their horses, cows, fine fruits and crops, and take pleasure in seeing them grow and develop daily. But the wife has few play hours, her work is never finished and she must constantly do over again what she did yesterday, last week, last summer, last year, and all the years of her life.
Where is Joshua now? I want to see him as soon as possible. I think I can't stay on this farm. It seems to me that Joshua and I have made a mistake. What shall I do with the bread making, butter making, gardening, the cooking of meats and other dishes, the caring for milk and cream, and the 100 other things that are necessary? I've been living in the city, weak and poor, confined to work in the great city store. I shall only be a drawback rather than a help to Joshua.
Perhaps I have worried her a bit.
Susan, you scared Joshua's girlfriend away from the farm. But Joshua manages to overcome his girlfriend's fears, with the result we'll see in the next episode.
Best of luck, old chap. Read Genesis 3:20. Isn't it time your wife had a name?
For 2 years I lived at the house and trained Joshua's wife to take over the farm chores. Finally, I married, and my husband and I built a house, leaving Joshua and the girl in their love nest. She was a quick study in the kitchen, and like Tom Sawyer, she was tickled that her husband joined in the fun.
I'm just a country boy who saw the face of an honest girl, with eyes of sincerity and strawberry curls.
I hope you enjoyed the story of Joshua and the girl, my aunt. Click on the links in the description for this copy of Green's Fruit Grower, with stories including the full story of Joshua on the farm, based on our true lives.